This is your Z107.7 Sunday News. I'm online news editor Robert Hayden. At October 21st, longer than Oppenheimer Yucca Valley Town Council meeting, the Animal Shelter Committee update from the September 18th meeting was delivered by Committee Chair Jim Schooler. Schooler acknowledged the significant public comment about the pace of the improvements at the shelter, as well as some specific cases with individual animals. Mayor Jeff Droz then asked where town staff was at with recruitment for the new shelter manager, a position that the town council has said they'd like to see filled before things like the often asked for volunteer program are implemented. Town manager Curtis Yakima said that they're at the final stages of the first rounds of recruitment, but it's still too early for any sort of accurate estimate of timeline. On to public comments, Carolyn Lee spoke about the animal shelter's adoptable pet page's lack of updates. She also praised Susan Herring and what she called
our beautiful desert animal-loving community
for helping her locate a neighbor's pet named Jackie. She said that same community is ready to volunteer at the shelter. Cheryl Contopoulos spoke directly about the frustrations with the lack of deliverable dates and other progress indicators.
And with no updates, then that's when we're going to start falling apart because we're concerned. So I'm going to address the Dobermans, the 3 Dobermans that were briefly mentioned. They were sent to VCA to be euthanized because they had diarrhea.
In a report by Stacy Moore of the High Desert Star, town manager Curtis Yakima directly addressed those dogs, along with a dog named Midnight, which resident James Porter characterized as malnourished and neglected. We'll have a link to her story on our website. Resident Susan Herring brought more energy to the room, one with a rapidly dwindling amount of residents who stayed for the animal shelter update.
And by the way, making us sit for 3.5 to 4 hours endlessly, month after month, borders on sadistic and unethical and unprofessional. In Z107.7, I hope you quote me.
I had to use it. It was a great quote. Some of those same sentiments were shared by James Porter, who has continued to ask for an independent investigation into the actions that led to the condition of the dog named Howdy.
Has that investigation started? Has it happened? Will it ever happen?
Then in regards to the dog named Midnight, Porter suggests a new way to address what he says is a habitual ongoing problem.
So I'm going to encourage our community to be at the Yucca Valley Community Center on November 7th at 5 p.m. and let's line the red carpet for the film festival with photographs of all of these dogs coming out of the shelter, starved, neglected, mistreated, abused, so that the world, anybody watching, can see what's happening.
If you haven't been to your city or town's council meetings before, you should attend at least one. They're important to have publicly, and they can be informative and fascinating in a procedural sort of way. You also get to witness the part of democracy where the passion and urgency of citizens' concerns can sometimes clash with the bureaucratic processes that exist in local government. I had a follow-up conversation with resident James Porter on Friday where we talk about that, as well as the possible demonstration at the Yucca Valley Film Festival. You can find that in a longer version of this story on our website, which also has some updates from the town of Yucca Valley regarding their efforts and successes in getting more people to adopt and not shop. That's all at Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.